Hello there fellow humans and welcome to this video, and today I want to talk about the Progetto 46 because it is in the shop right now, and I mean the Emil is in the shop as well, but it's worse than the Emil 1. Why the hell would you want that? You know, like, basically about the Emil 1951, if you want a tank like that, get the Emil 1, wait for enrichment to be discounted and enrich the Emil 1, then you get a better tank. That's also a premium, so do that. So there is zero point in buying the Emil 1951 because it's simply just worse. You know, you can barely even go hull down in that thing because the third armor doesn't really exist most of the time. So, speaking of non-existent armor, the Progetto 46, because it doesn't have any armor. It also doesn't have any penetration, so definitely use calibrated on this tank, and that already brings us to the problems of this vehicle. Should you buy this tank if you are an above average player? You should definitely consider that, you know, because it is a very good tank if you know what you're doing. However, to a new player or a, well, bad player, this thing is simply a waste of money because you won't be able to handle it. It doesn't have good penetration. It's only 180 standard, so you're gonna have to have advanced armor knowledge and positioning knowledge to be able to outmaneuver enemies, to be able to shoot them in the sides, stuff like that. Because if you can't pen people from the front, you gotta know how to outmaneuver them. It's quite simple. And you also have to know how to outmaneuver people because you can't really bounce any shots because the armor is really non-existent, just like on that Canoniac Panzer. And I do feel very bad for him for buying that tank. Because that guy didn't listen. That guy didn't subscribe. So you should, because your money is worth more than that. Way more. So spend it wisely. Alright? So, anyway. That was interesting. Now, we're gonna try to get the Samoa here. I mean, the Tiger's looking at me. Can I even pen the front? See, this is exactly the problem here. You can't really pen much. And that is definitely a disadvantage of this vehicle. Oh, I got the wrong mouse binds again. Great. Okay, now, let's try and take him out. That is wonderful. The Yo's looking at me. Let's try and bait him. After shooting. Oh, he's gone. Okay, I'm gonna reload the third shell, and then we see what we can do here. Now, it's a very hard tank to play, so, you know, just consider that. It's not OP or anything. It's kind of overhyped. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of overhyped like the AX, you know? You gotta know what you're doing to make this thing work. And since this is Blitz, not a lot of people actually know what they're doing. That's just how it goes. Okay. The Yo and the Yak Panther. I'm gonna go for the Yak Panther. Easier shot. That's something you gotta do as well, you know, pick your targets. Whichever one's easier to pen is the one you should shoot, because if you have a higher chance of penning, you have a higher chance of doing damage, which is great. So, there we go. Can we finish him off? We can't. But that's unfortunate. 3.5k damage. I'd say that's a pretty decent game for this thing. Why do I have 60 FPS? That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, that's the Progetto for you. Definitely consider buying this if you are a good player. So, that's pretty much it about this thing. It's a good tank. It doesn't have pen. It doesn't have armor. So only buy if you're a good player. But if you're a good player, it is definitely worth it. So what I'm going to do now is, because I don't have the Emil 1951 on this account, I'm going to switch to NA and play it there, because I'm not dumb enough to spend another 10,000 gold on that thing. On NA, weirdly on the same map again. And in the Emil 1951, as you can see. Now, what do you need to know about this tank? Well, it's quite simple. If you know the Emil 1, you know this thing, because it's slightly faster and has less armor. This team has less brain than the last one, which is quite unfortunate, but guess we gotta do it the dumb way then. That is unfortunate. Don't be the people that go to this side on Rockfield, because, you know, people that go heavy side, I instantly know I have to hard carry to win, because they tend to be stupid 99% of the time. So, why is it doing that? Anyway, nice FPS I got here. That definitely makes sense. Nice optimization, Wargaming, I suppose. But, here we go. Two of them are here, which doesn't make any sense at all right now. Right, now. Try and take the VK. I mean, it's an Emil. Damn, boy! Obviously, forget that happened, because that's not going to happen to you. We're going to have to subtract all that damage from the end result, I'd say. But yeah. Gonna have to reload here for 22 seconds, gonna take a while. That's obviously great for me, because it allows me to get a lot more damage, even if we lose here, which I don't really care about anymore these days. But let's see what we can do with this. Obviously, as I said already, it's don't buy. Just enrich the ML1 when the enrichment is counted. It's like no point buying this thing. No point at all. So, that didn't work. Now, also another rule of Blitz, more donkeys mean less donkeys. 3 of them was stupid, and all of my team was stupid. Which means my team's gonna overrun them, and then we'll lead up in a 6 versus 4 at the end here. So basically, either you want all your team to be stupid, or none of them, ideally. Because if some of them are dumb, it's gonna end up like the enemy team here, and they're gonna... One side of them is gonna get crushed, and then the other one, the smart side, is gonna have to fight a losing battle, which is unfortunate to them. So, that's just how it goes. Now, obviously I'm gonna try to push forward here, see what we can do, because there's no real harm for opposition here at this point. I have a 930 damage clip, which always you have to keep in mind, you know, if you can't clip someone, you shouldn't really push them, but I'm me, so I'm just gonna push this guy anyway. Let's see what we can do. Also, one difference between this thing and the ML1 is that the ML1 has the enhanced engine boost and this one doesn't, which basically means they're the same speed, because the ML has access to the engine boost, while this thing does not. So, what this thing is, it's the ML1, but worse armor. And armor worse to a degree where, even if you hold down, some tanks can still pen you. If you're on a flat surface, pretty much all the tanks can pen you, so it is quite a weak tank. It is quite a weak tank, compared to the ML1. Doesn't mean it's a bad tank, but why would you spend money on worse than a tech tree? Honestly, that's baffling to me. The only reason I own this is because I got it out of a crate, unfortunately. So, don't buy crates either. That's dumb as well. There you go. I mean, he shot the gun, but that never pins. I mean, it's a lightweight, it doesn't have a lot of penetration. So, there's that. You know, in the end, this is gonna be a decent game for me. I'd say 3.4k damage, something like that. Let's see if we can clip him. Obviously, with the ammo rack, that helped out quite a lot. And that is quite a decent game, I'd say. But then again, still, it is a good tank, yes. However, it is not a good value, and that is what matters. It doesn't matter if it's a good tank or not, it matters if it's a good value or not. Because why would you spend 10,000 gold on this tank when you can get the ML1 for free, and then simply upgrade the ML1 for like 4,000 gold when the enrichment is discounted? Don't enrich anything when the enrichment is full price, because that's dumb. But as always, speaking of full price, let's go through the bundle real quick at the end. 35k, that's obviously, that bullshit never existed. 17.5 for both of these. I don't think that's a good deal, to be honest. You could have gotten the TT4E2 and even the add-on of the T95 Chieftain for less, which I'd say is the better price here. And I mean, you can get the MXO in 449 for 7.5k a few months ago. So compared to those, this is just not a good deal. And especially with Black Friday being in a bit over a month, please save your money. Don't spend it on this. If you're a good player, you can consider the Progetto. Otherwise, keep your hands off it. And with that horrible disappointment, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.